Last February I did something I hadn't done before. I just took out my camera and shared where I am in myself on my particular life journey, rather than putting forward some idea or promoting an event or anything. I think I called it The Man Behind the Image. So I think this is part 2, and it's been a while, but I just want to share from the heart where I am on Tim's journey. And in doing that, I want to explain also why I'm cancelling my retreats in the UK for 2019. That's a pretty big thing for me to do. So this whole period since February has been a continuation of feeling very up and down in my energy. My health has not been great some of the time, and then other times it's been fine. But it's been, well, that's obviously life, but more of that than I'm used to. I'm used to having lots of energy, and then suddenly, sometimes I don't. And that's been a challenge. And alongside that, a feeling that there's a real paradox in what I do in the world between the feedback at all the events, which is just, it couldn't be better. It's just extraordinary what happens. So I'm very pleased, and it's very fulfilling to do that. And then on the other hand, there's the kind of Tim Freke business, which has been really struggling this year. It's happened before, but it's really been dramatic this year. It's like, I'm needing to put more and more time into making this work as a business. And that's not my nature. I didn't start this to run a business. I started this because people asked me to run events, asked me to share the experience with them. And I don't want to be a professional workshop leader in that way. I respect people who do that. It's great, but it's not me. And so there's been this real tension, and I've looked at myself and thought, maybe it's even time to stop. Some events have been really full. Other events have not been filling up. It's been a struggle. I've had to spend so much time doing promotion. I feel like I'm not doing what I should be doing. And as I get to be 60 next year, I feel like I want to be in a place where I'm really contributing the best of what I've got to contribute, which is actually doing the events, developing the new ideas, which are rushing in at such a rate. I just want time to be with them and to share them and to see where they want to go. But this pressure of needing to fill up events and sell places, and that paradox has been hard to bear this year. That's what I shared in February, and it's even more so now. That's made me think, maybe I should just stop. Maybe I'm done. Maybe I've contributed what I have to contribute. But as I've sat with that, with myself and with God, it feels like, no, there's more. There's more for me to do. There's more. But that I need to stand back from what I've been doing to allow the new to get born. And that's a big, scary risk. Literally, when I phoned up and said, cancelled all of the events, that was like, okay. So I am doing events, but I'm doing events that other people are running for me, not the ones I run myself. So I'm coming to America in June. I'm going to go to Japan in the spring. But there won't be the Deep Awakening, I don't think. I think it's going to be a new thing. It will be built on the Deep Awakening. I feel like what I've created is beautiful. I think there's a profound body of ideas, a philosophy, and these incredible practices, especially the immersion where we just share with each other so deeply. I'm not going to leave that behind. I actually want to bring it to fruition. I want to show what it is. And I'm going to make another video, hopefully not too long, when I've had time to really be with this, to show where I think it's going to go next. And my experience is always that in my most creative periods, I feel a bit lost. I feel a bit like I'm in the dark, sort of moving. What's that? It's a discomfort to it as well. But ultimately, that's where all the new things come from. I think that may be a general experience people have. I certainly have it. So this last period has been some beautiful things. The trip to America was amazing. Ireland retreat was amazing. Lots of, festival in Azure, or I was ill actually at the festival, but before it. It's been beautiful, and yet there's been this undercurrent of something's not right as well, or something needs to die for something else to be born, and maybe that's also in me, and in the work. So I've taken this big step and cancelled the events I run myself, which is pretty much all the retreats in the UK. So if I get some invites for someone else to run them, I will do that, because I don't want the pressure of filling places up. I don't want the pressure of running the retreats business. I want to be able to concentrate now on the core calling of my life, which is to develop this new philosophy and articulate it clearly and share the experience I call being deep awake, the big love, through the practices. And I think it needs to take a jump forward. And this has happened before, when things have literally collapsed completely in the past, a long time ago now, and from it has come a brand new thing. That everything I share now has come from a period of complete collapse, which led to, and it was almost immediate. Immediately I found the new thing, which in this case, it was the immersion, it was the sharing. What happens. Well, I'll tell you the story. We decided I'd run my first ever residential retreat. That's how long ago it was. And nobody came. It was a complete disaster. So we cancelled it. And I thought, that's it, it's over. And got together with some friends and we held our own little retreat. And it was beautiful. And then I thought, let's take a risk. What would happen if we did this gazing connection that I've been exploring, but with person after person after person, with everybody? What would happen? And what happened, of course, is... And in that moment, the next day, I knew, and everyone else there knew, there was a whole new thing, which was then called the mystery experience, and it became the deep awakening. And the minute that I saw that, we started residentials again, and they were full. And have been up until recently. Just poof. So it's a great mystery to me because of how people experience the events, why they're just like, it's why I can't just let it roll, and by word of mouth, it's just massively full. Which it hasn't been the case. So what I need to do is listen to my deepest intuition, and that's to create some space and let the new thing come through. So that's what I'm going to do, which means, and it's kind of good in a way, that this year's New Year retreat in the UK is the last ever Deep Awakening, I think. And that's great that it's at the New Year event, because that's such a special time. All the retreats have been amazing, but the New Year retreats, because we have a big party as well, and it's a celebration, and it's deep and poignant and full of hope. And so if you've been before, come and join me. If you haven't been to a Deep Awakening, I want you to come for you, because you will love it. It's such an extraordinary thing. And I want you to come for me as well, because then I don't have to waste my time constantly doing promotions and all that stuff. I can instead focus on what I need to focus on. So I hope the right people are going to just go, yeah, that's me, I need to be there, and then they're going to turn up and we're going to have one hell of a spiritual party. We're going to go very deep, and we're going to play, and we're going to feel, and we're going to think, and then we're going to go into the next year and give birth to something amazing together. And when I see what my contribution is, I'll make another video, and then you can see what you think of it and whether you want to come with me on this next leg of the journey. And I hope you will. So thanks for listening to me exploring the paradoxes of my life journey, where I am right now.